The rain fell in sheets so heavy it erased the world beyond a few feet, turning the afternoon sky into a gray curtain of cold water. Cars hissed past, splashing through puddles, headlights smeared by the storm. Amid this chaos, Amelia Rourke gripped her shaky steering wheel, trying to see through the fogged windshield, her mind racing not just with the storm but with the weight of overdue bills, a sick 5-year-old waiting at home, and the silent fear that had lived in her chest for months. Then, as she slowed at a crosswalk drowned in water, she saw him, an elderly man standing alone in the torrent, leaning on a bent cane, shivering with every gust. Something inside her jolted. She didn't know why this moment struck her so deeply, only that it felt like a message from life itself. A whisper, "Stop. Help. This matters." Before we continue, if you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the power of ordinary people doing extraordinary good, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to RW Insights. It helps these stories reach more hearts. Amelia pulled over and flicked on her hazard lights. The wind nearly tore the door from her hand as she ran to the man. His gray hair was plastered to his forehead, and his coat, far too thin for the weather, clung to his frail body. She placed her hand gently on his back and told him she had a car nearby. He nodded, unable to speak as his teeth chattered. She held him upright, their steps slow, almost ceremonial, like she was carrying something delicate and precious. Back inside the warmth of her old sedan, she draped her scarf around him. He whispered his name, Mr. Holden, and gave her an address only a few blocks away. The ride was short, but the silence was profound. The rain softened as they stopped in front of a small brick house that looked as weary as he did. When she walked him to the front door, he squeezed her hand with a surprising strength and told her she had saved him more than she knew. She didn't understand, but she smiled, wished him well, and hurried back to her car, praying she could get home in time to relieve the teenage neighbor watching her daughter, Mary. Life didn't slow for Amelia. She returned home to find Mary's fever had risen again. Her job at the bakery had cut her hours, and she didn't know how she'd cover rent. She told herself that helping that man was worth it, even though she had so little to give. Kindness, she believed, didn't require wealth, only heart. The next morning was bright, the rain washed away, replaced by a shy sun peeking over rooftops. As Amelia hurried Mary through breakfast and prepared to leave for the clinic, a knock startled her. When she opened the door, she froze. Mr. Holden stood on her porch, dressed neatly now, cane in hand but posture stronger, as if yesterday's storm had been nothing more than an inconvenience. He apologized for the surprise and then handed her a folded letter. Amelia blinked in confusion. Before she could ask anything, he thanked her again, deeply, sincerely, and walked back down the steps with a steadiness she hadn't seen the day before. Amelia closed the door and unfolded the letter with trembling fingers. Inside was a simple handwritten message, and a check. Her breath caught in her chest. The amount wasn't just generous, it was life-changing. Enough to pay her rent for months, cover Mary's medical bills, and give them a cushion she had never dreamed of. The letter explained that Mr. Holden had once owned a successful construction firm but had become isolated after losing his wife. The storm had been the final crack in a long struggle with loneliness and declining health. Her act of kindness had reminded him that people still cared, that he still mattered. He wrote that her compassion had given him hope, and he wanted to give her a chance to breathe again. Amelia sat on the couch with the letter pressed to her heart. Tears she had suppressed for months finally broke free. For so long she had carried her burdens quietly, believing no one saw her, no one cared, no one even knew how hard she fought. But one moment of kindness, given freely without expectation, had come back to her like a sunrise after endless night. She didn't use the money carelessly. She paid the bills carefully, made sure Mary received better treatment, and saved the rest. But what mattered most wasn't the money, it was the renewed belief that good things could still happen. That kindness didn't disappear into the void. It circled back in unexpected ways, like rain returning to the clouds. Weeks later, Amelia stopped by Mr. Halden's home with a small basket of baked goods she'd made herself. They spent the afternoon talking, about his late wife, about her struggles raising Miri alone, about the strange, beautiful timing that had put them in each other's paths. Their friendship grew naturally, tenderly, filling a space in both their lives they hadn't realized was empty. Mr. Halden even helped Amelia secure interviews at a local community center that needed a warm, patient soul to coordinate outreach programs. The job paid better and gave her flexible hours, exactly what she needed as a mother. As time passed, Miri adored the old man, calling him Mr. H. He taught her how to build wooden birdhouses, how to whistle through a leaf, how to plant seeds in spring. Amelia often watched them from the kitchen window, sunlight pooling around them, and wondered how a storm that once felt threatening had instead delivered a blessing. Life wasn't perfect, but it was softer now, kinder. And every time it rained, Amelia found herself remembering that moment, her decision to stop, to help, to give even when she had so little. She realized something profound: sometimes you're not just helping someone home. Sometimes you're guiding your own heart back to hope. If this story touched you, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to RW Insights. Your engagement helps keep heartfelt stories alive. Before you go, please leave a comment telling us one act of kindness you'll do this week.